Wow, Jessica, you look amazing, I said as she opened the door to the student house she shared with four others. Well, you look quite smart yourself there, Dave. It is a shame though that you wouldn't join in the fun, she replied, smiling at me and let me in. She did look stunning in a sparkly purple halter top, a sparkly purple and white tutu and a pair of flimsy fairy wings on her back. She completed the look with small white flowers woven into her curly brown hair. In contrast, I was just wearing a smart shirt, jeans, and a leather jacket. It was a couple of weeks before Christmas and we were going to a Christmas-themed fancy dress party, held in one of the local bars, organized by her student union. I normally love to get involved in these things and make the effort, but a Christmas-themed party? What can a guy go as that isn't Santa, an elf, or a snowman? If I do these things, I do them properly and try to be original. Jessica said there would be plenty people going in normal clothes, so I decided I would do the same. Walking up the stairs to her room, I said hi to some of the girls she shared the house with. I had become a regular visitor and so all knew me pretty well. Following Jessica, I couldn't get over how pretty she looked in her fairy getup. Now don't get me wrong, I had no intention of going there. For one, me and Jessica had been friends for years. Secondly, she was gay. It was pretty cool having a lesbian for a best friend. We actually had similar taste in women, so it was fun checking out the ladies together whenever we went out. She had a very dirty sense of humor, she could make some of my male friends blush, and we could go out with couples together and not look out of place. Upon entering her room, she turned to me. "Hey, I got you some beers in, thought we could have a drink before we went out. Save some money sounds good to me," I replied, cracking one open and throwing my jacket on a chair. "What's with the two wands?" spying them on her bed. One was pink and plastic, the typical little girl's wand, the other looking quite intricate. Brown and wood-looking with green vines growing around it. "That brown one looks quite expensive." "I bought the pink one a while ago. I thought it looked cute," she replied, "but today I found this one in the bush outside. It looks expensive, but it still feels like it's just plastic, so I'm using this one tonight." "It's a shame that you couldn't find a costume for tonight," she went on. "It would have been awesome if we could have found a couple's idea to do." "Well, you were adamant you were going as a fairy. What could I have gone as to complement that?" I asked. Jessica started laughing. "If you were open-minded enough, I could have said that I was a fairy godmother and you could have been my fairy tale princess." The idea was stupid. I was 6'2" and had a decent build. I would have looked like a rugby player in drag. It was a pretty funny thought though. "Yeah, well, if you were a real fairy godmother, you could just turn me into one," I replied playfully. "Let's see, shall we?" Jessica said, picking up the wooden-looking wand. "I transform you into a fairy tale princess," she commanded. Moments earlier, a being was flitting over the rooftops, unseen to the naked eye. Oh no, oh no. Where is it? I've been looking for it for hours now. Somebody must have picked it up. She was chatting away to herself. "Okay, let's think. I used it down the road to grant that little girl's wish to stop the abuse and anger in her family. She's going to wake up tomorrow to a happy and loving family for once." And it was only 10 minutes later I realized my wand was gone. Somebody must have picked it up, but who? And where are they now? If they use it, I'll know exactly where it is and I can summon it back. But the consequences of what they use it for could be dire. Her ears suddenly pricked up. They've used it. And for something not so bad. "And now I have it back," the being said, relieved. Back in Jessica's room. "What the he?" I stuttered in a soft soprano. "What has happened to me and why can't I swear?" Jessica just looked shocked. "Oh my God," she whispered. It actually worked. What worked? I shouted, distressed. There was so many strange sensations. I knew what had happened to me, but just didn't want to believe it. Look in my mirror, she said, pointing to a full-length mirror she had in the corner of the room. There I was, quite obviously a girl. Beautiful. Brown hair fell across my left shoulder in soft waves. A sparkly tiara adorned my head. My lips were slightly plumped, with sparkly, bubblegum pink lipstick. Silver and pink eyeshadow blended in on my eyelids, and I had a flawless complexion. Dangly, white gold earrings tickled my bare shoulders. A tight, pink, sparkly bodice, laced up at the back, covered my new breasts, which were lifted to show some, but not too much, cleavage. A sparkly pink bow just above my backside and sparkly pink opera gloves completed the look above my waist. Below my waist, well, you couldn't see much. A taffeta skirt, arcing out from my waist to the point just off the floor where it must have been 6 feet across, covered everything. Again, this was pink and sparkly. I could feel the layers and layers of petticoats that were holding the shape. Just walking was going to be a chore. I didn't need to be able to see to tell you that my penis was gone. I lifted up the front of my skirts to see my feet. They were in a pair of pink high heels. The heels must have been at least 4 inches. But now I was seeing eye to eye with Jessica, who was 5'6" without her heels on. I must have lost a full foot in height. I was the stereotypical fairy tale princess. You're beautiful, Jessica said in awe. I don't want to be foo, I don't want to be beautiful. What did this? I said, again stuttering whenever I tried to swear. The wand, Jessica stated. It's gone. Where did it go? I don't know. It was in my hand, but now it's disappeared. I didn't even put it down. It must have really been magic, she said to me in wonder. I couldn't argue with that considering what just happened. If we could find it, maybe you can turn me back, I said hopefully. I told you, it's disappeared, she said exasperatedly. At that point I just let myself collapse to the floor, my skirts puffing up and spreading out around me. Foo, oh, for crying out loud, why can't I swear? Again, stuttering over the swear words. Well, when did you ever hear Cinderella and Co. swear? Jessica half asked, half stated. What are we going to do now? I asked Jessica expectantly, my eyes filling with tears. Maybe it's not permanent, she replied with a bit of hope in her voice. In Cinderella, the spell only lasted till midnight. I hope so. So what do we do? Wait here till midnight and see if I change back? At that point Jessica's housemates burst in through the door. We're ready, they chorused, all dressed similar to Jessica, just in different colors. Oh my God, Sophie, you look amazing. How long did it take you to make that dress, Rachel, a tall blonde in blue asked. Me and Jessica just looked at each other. Hello, Earth to Sophie, she said sarcastically. How long did it take you to make the dress? I'm sorry guys, Jessica interrupted. We're just having a private chat, give us 10 minutes and we'll meet you downstairs. I glared at her for that. "'Kay, we'll see you in 10 then," Emily, a redhead in pure white, said as the 4 of them vacated. After they had gone I turned to Jessica. Who is Sophie? Considering you're the only girl in the house without a name, I'm guessing you are. She pointed to the chair where my jacket, which had changed to a white bolero jacket, had been ditched earlier. There's a pink, sparkly purse there that isn't mine. Maybe that has some answers? I somehow managed to pick myself up with surprising ease and walked over to the chair, feeling the petticoats swishing around my legs. Opening the purse, I found lipstick, eyeshadow, mascara, a set of keys, cash, a lot of cash, well over £150, and a driver's license. Looking at the license, I saw my new face looking back at me. Well, I definitely am this Sophie. Same surname, same date of birth. The differences, my address, my middle name, it had been Stephen, it was now Elizabeth, and marked female instead of male. Say hello to Sophie, I said, pushing my arms out to the sides. Well, Sophie, shall we get going? Jessica said coyly. You expect me to go out like this? I nearly shouted. In normal circumstances, no, I wouldn't. But you're clearly dressed as a princess for a fancy dress party, and there are 4 overexcited ladies downstairs waiting for us, she said, matter-of-factly. Look, we can either wait here, stewing over this, or we can go out, have some fun, and you can see how the other half lives. Considering that Cinderella turned back after attending a party, you might need to as well to reverse the spell. There's no point in worrying over something we can't control, is there? Now come on. Jessica grabbed my gloved hand and started dragging me to the door. Wait, at least let me put this jacket on, it's freezing outside. And it'll be a relief to have an item of clothing on that isn't pink and sparkling, I said in defeat. Walking down the stairs, skirts lifted up so that I didn't trip up the other girls. How graceful I was. We must have looked a sight to passers-by. 5 tutu-clad fairies and a princess in a pink meringue of a dress. Fortunately, the party was only 5 minutes down the road. I did notice that my black Vauxhall wasn't there, instead was a pink Mercedes 2-seater. I had a feeling it was mine. The bar was upstairs, so once again I had to hike up my skirts to get in there. This time though, I had 5 fairies helping me out. The party was actually enjoyable. I found once I accepted that I was Sophie, suitable conversation just seemed to roll off my tongue. I walked like a girl, talked like a girl, danced like a girl, could reapply makeup like a girl, and even knew how to go to the toilet like a girl. Through conversation I learned that Sophie designed and made clothes for a living and made massive contributions to charity. It was 11 o'clock when I realized something disturbing. I called Jessica over to a quiet corner of the bar. Jess, there's something wrong. Apart from you being a girl, you mean? She said jokingly. Seriously, Jess. Listen, it's like, I look at some of the girls in here and in my head I am extremely turned on, but my body isn't responding. Well, maybe fairy tale princesses aren't sexually active? They are stories designed for little girls, you know, Jessica reasoned. It's not that. See that guy over there? I pointed to a guy in jeans and a tight shirt. Jessica indicated she'd seen him. I look at him and in my mind he does nothing for me, but even now, I can feel myself getting wet down there. It's like my brain is straight but my body is gay. Other way round, girlfriend, replied Jess. Your body is responding like a heterosexual girl, but you got a brain of a lesbian. Whatever, Jess. What if I don't change back? I can't go through life with conflicting sexual reactions like this. Listen, Dave, Sophie, whatever. We'll leave now if you like, go back to my room and wait there until midnight. If you change back, then brilliant, if not, we'll work it out one way or another. I'll do anything I can to help you through this. So we left and shortly after arrived in Jessica's room. I plumped myself down in her chair, once again feeling all of my skirts puff up around me. So, Miss Partial Lesbian, Jess started. Just curious, but what do you think when you look at me? Seriously, Jess, you look absolutely beautiful. If my body agreed, I would let you do anything to me, I confessed. What a shame, because there is nothing I want to do more than rip off that dress and have my way with you." Nothing more was said. We both sat there solemnly waiting for midnight. It crept up, arrived and passed. Nothing changed. I just sat there sobbing. Jessica came and cuddled me, hoping it would provide some comfort. "Like I said before, I'm here for you. No matter what." We cuddled for a while before getting ready for bed. It seems that Sophie was just as unorganized as Dave for sleeping over. No nightwear, no change of clothes. Just a sleeping bag that Jessica supplied. I wiped my makeup off and stripped down to my pink strapless bra and French-cut panties. I thought it would be a relief to get out of the dress, but I felt even worse for getting it off. Sleep didn't come easy. I woke up the next day to an amazing sight. A tall blonde being stood in front of me, with pointed ears, dragonfly wings and an emerald green gown. Jessica was already gazing upon her in awe. "I must apologize," she began. "While it was not me that put you in your current predicament, it was my wand." She showed me the wand that Jessica had just the night before. "I hoped that you would have been comfortable with your situation, but it seems some changes are in order." "You mean you can change me back?" I asked hopefully. "Unfortunately, no. I cannot counteract a previously made spell, only modify it. For example, I will now give you all of Sophie Elizabeth's memories. You won't forget your life as Dave, but you will have all the knowledge you need for this life." As she waved her wand, I now knew that I was Sophie Elizabeth Green. In this reality, my parents had made billions on the stock exchange. I had used the money given to me on my 18th birthday to start my own fashion business, making princess-like fashions and giving them a modern edge. It had taken off famously. My business was not for profit, my employees were well paid, and any extra money went into charity. I was what I would imagine a modern-day fairy tale princess to be like. Now one more thing, the strange being carried on. You have a bit of conflict going on in between your mind and body, so I will give you a choice. Do you wish to be straight, like your body, or gay, like your mind? I turned and looked at Jessica. I grinned back. There was only one answer to that question.